You see these everywhere. Well, tell a lie, not everywhere, but in most of Britain's age-old towns and villages. They're guildhalls. But just what exactly are guildhalls? Well, let's skedaddle and find out, shall we? Come on. At their core, guildhalls were the headquarters of the Guild, an association of craftsmen, traders or merchants who controlled everything from quality standards to the prices in their trade. Not dissimilar to a chamber of commerce or trade union of today. They started springing up in the 12th century, but really took off in the 14th and 15th centuries. This one here is a 15th century one, and it's bloody beautiful. Here in rural Britain, guildhalls are especially common because back in the medieval era, the national economy relied heavily on the countryside. Think wool, for instance, the golden fleece that made Britain rich. And the many sheep farms across the West Country and East Anglia cried out for a smattering of regulation in the name of a guild to help protect these wealthy wool merchants from competition and economic slumps. We love a bit of regulation here in the UK. I get all fuzzy just thinking about it. Though we could stand here and point the finger. Money-grabbing pigs! They must have done something right, because trade really did flourish, and with the money accumulated, grand guild halls were constructed as symbols of their status. So, who built these impressive structures anyway? The guilds themselves, obviously. Come on, are you not paying attention? Focus, alright? Head in the game. Alright, don't have a cow, mate. Christ alive. Members, typically the wealthiest locals such as cloth dyers, weavers or brewers, would pool together resources to fund construction. You might be picturing a humble little shed or something, but no, they were massive. They were built properly as well, built to last, with locally sourced timber, stone and skilled craftsmanship. I tell you, it's nothing like the grot we build today. In rural settings back then, building a guildhall as big as this was very much community effort, sometimes even incorporating parts of other buildings like older churches or manors. And one thing I'd like to add is that they were built with purpose, a quality that developers of today seem to have forgotten for whatever reason. I mean, can you imagine a building built in the 21st century would still be going as strong as this in 500 years' time? Don't make me laugh. Now you might recognise this image from my windmills video, which is good, so check that out. But I also use this as my channel banner. I just think it's a beautiful place to be, and I was in town, so I thought it'd be rude not to come along. Because obviously you've really wanted to know that. And anyway, that's a random interesting fact out of the way. On we go. No, I start hitting now. Well, all of this only leaves one more question. What exactly were guildhalls used for? Well, guildhalls were multifunctional hubs where members would discuss business, set rules, solve disputes, yada yada yada. As well as those meetings, guildhalls were the place to be to host feasts and celebrations. They served as makeshift courts, storage facilities and even relief centres for the poor. But over the centuries, as the primary use for them for meetings with the guild, as that became nigh on needless, guildhalls evolved into becoming things like town halls, for instance, thus preserving their role as community anchors for rural Britain. Just imagine the laughs, the cries, the debates, the prayers that those ancient walls have seen. Crikey. To put their prevalence into perspective, take Suffolk for instance, still a quintessentially rural county, fueled largely by the wool trade back in the day. Today, there are still over a dozen well-preserved guildhalls in the county, just reflecting how widespread and essential guildhalls were to the medieval rural economies. Guildhalls aren't just relics, they're living testaments that bridge together the medieval world to today, where they're still of use to us. The majority of them are independently run these days by volunteers or by organisations like the National Trust, for instance. So next time you're wandering through an ancient town in Britain and spot a guildhall, step inside and explore. You might just feel the pulse of history. See you soon.